Good afternoon to you. Welcome to PHCL 204, the makeup class that we have had to arrange to fill in for the one session that we missed. Because we won't be able to do a lot of the symbolisms. We may be able to do it, but I don't think everyone will easily appreciate that. So we'll work more on the translations. So take your workbook. I think it's my page 17. I don't know the page number that you have. And let's translate. Cheating is not morally right. And if Kant is to be believed, neither is lying. You have such an expression. What is the main connective? Cheating is not morally right. And if Kant is to be believed, neither is lying. What would you think is the main connective there and why? Anybody wants to try that very quickly? Okay, so mark it down for your future revision at tutorial. When do we say two formulas are logically equivalent? Raise up your hand. We are discussing, okay? When we say two formulas are logically equivalent, what does it mean? I'm not getting a response for, okay, what is the logical equivalence of P conditional Q by material implication? Raise up your hand if you want to react. What's the logical equivalence of P conditional Q by the rule of material implication? Deborah, go ahead.
Negation P disjunction Q.
Very good, not P disjunction Q. That's correct. That's material implication. What would be the equivalence of negated conjunction of P Q by De Morgan's law? Negated conjunction of PQ by De Morgan's law. Who will try that? At De Morgan's law, negated disjunction. Is that what I said? Negated disjunction, right? Of P. No, I said negated conjunction. Help me out. What did I say? Negated conjunction or negated disjunction? Oh, okay, let's say a negated conjunction of P Q. If you had a negated negated conjunction of PQ by De Morgan's law, what will it become? I want your hand up very quickly. Hey, my people. Good. See your hand up. Very good. Oh, is it only Deborah that is in class? Ajay Kuma, go ahead.
P disjunction negated Q.
Okay, so the original statement was negation on P conjunction Q. So not into bracket P conjunction Q becomes what? Not P disjunction, not Q. Okay, again, Kuma. So the negation affects both sides of the conjunction. Okay, all right. Now let's look at, when do we say a formula is tautologous? On the truth table, when do we say a formula is? Okay. Joseph, when do we say a formula is tautologous?
Please, when the truth value is true throughout.
Well done. So on the table, when the formula has true throughout the end, after I decompose that formula, then we say it is tautologous, the tautology. See that? The tautologous statement on the truth table means you had true throughout after you decompose that formula. The logical equivalence of tautology is what? Gabriel, very good. That's better. What's the logical equivalence of a tautologous statement? Gabriel's hand is up. Is there any other hand that is up? Okay, I see Sarah's hand too. Apart from Gabriel and Sarah, anyone else? Deborah has spoken. Who else? Everyone try, eh? The logical negation of a tautology is what? Okay, let's take Sarah. Sarah, go ahead.
Madam, please, to be a contradiction.
Very good. It's a contradiction or an inconsistent formula.
Madam,
That
please, it's a
means,
contradiction.
yes, I heard you. Thank you so much. That means the formula after your decomposition on the table shows all false throughout to the end. Well done. On the table again, if you finish decomposing and some are true, some are false, how would you describe that kind of a formula? All of us. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
When you
Yes,
finish
madam.
decomposing on a truth table and you analyze your formula and some are true, some are false, how would you describe that kind of a formula? Obviously, it's consistent, but which type of consistency would that be?
Contingent.
I think
Well done. It's a
Contingent.
contingent formula. Well done. Please polish it up, eh? That's what the today's session is for. I'm trying to mop up for you. Very good. When I say wherever there is true love, there is sorrow, which type of compound is that? Wherever there is true love, there is sorrow. Which type of compound is that? I want a chorus answer. It's what?
Conditional.
It's a conditional. Very good. How many of you agree that it's a conditional? Raise up your hand and let me see on the screen. I want a full participation, for your sake. Very good. If you think that it's a conditional, wherever there is true love, there is sorrow. I'm not saying that is exactly true, but just in case I gave you that statement, you realize that it's a conditional. If you can see that, put up your hand. And I see only Joseph's hand up. I don't see any other hand up. Is it that you don't know, or you don't agree, or you don't have access to your gadget? I want you to participate. That's better. I see 3 hands now. If you agree that wherever there is true love, there is sorrow, it's a conditional, put up your hand. I see only 3 hands. We have a good number than 3. I'm waiting for others. Okay, very good. Now then show me the consequence of that statement. Wherever there is true love, there is sorrow. What's the consequence of the statement? If you agree that it's a conditional there, then it will have an antecedent and a consequence. What's the consequence of wherever there is true love, there is sorrow? Daniela, do you want to
There is
address
sorrow.
that?
There's so.
There is sorrow.
There is
Well
sorrow.
done. Very, very good.
Yes, madam.
How about if I say no man has a womb? No man has a womb. We agree that is also a conditional. What's the antecedent of no man has a womb? Using Kofi. Let me try chorus answer first.
Kofi has been.
That's not correct. Antecedent.
He is the man.
Very good. Kofi is a man. Who said that? Who said Kofi is a man? Mention your name. Are you afraid? I want to give you a mark on my file. So if I say no man has a womb, I'm saying if X is a man, then X does not have a womb. If X is a man, then X does not have a womb. That's what I'm saying. So if I say no man has a womb, then I'm saying if X is a man, then X does not have a womb. Now your antecedent to X is a man, and I say useful, so Kofi is a man. I hope You are following. So try this one too. No human being has feathers. Show me the antecedent of that. I'll call any of you online. See Bona Richmond, see Comfort Sapwa, see Daniela, Ajay Kuma, etc., etc. Let's see. Others don't have their full name there. It's not good. I see Evelyn Apia, Deborah, Yvette, Nkuma, Joseph Ma for my father, Kofi, Kotupi, Kukua, Lady Ruby, Maud Abuaje, Mohammed, etc. And Rebecca, now there. My question is, no human being has feathers. That is also a conditional. It is still on your page 17. I don't know which number your page is, but mine is page 17. So I'm trying to help you open out a conditional to know your antecedent and your consequence, so that when you have to work with it, you know what to do. No man, no human has feathers. I want the consequence now. Okay, let me take Ajay Nkrumah now. Go ahead. Ajay Nkrumah is Juliana. I was a guy. Oh, you're good. Yeah. Go ahead, Juliana. Ajay Nkrumah.
If the antecedent is man,
X is a human. Then the consequence is
feathers.
X does not have feathers. Antecedent and consequent must be statements, not words. Okay. So if I say no humans have feathers, I'm saying if X is a human, then X does not have feathers. That's the original statement. Open that, expanded like that. So if X is a human, then X does not have feathers. And that will clearly help you see your antecedent, because X is a human, and your consequent, which is what? X has feathers. Then you decompose. Okay. Now, what about if I said having a passport is necessary if one wants to travel? Everyone write it down. Having a passport is necessary if one wants to travel. Use X, T to mean X wants to travel. I'm giving you a dictionary. Okay? And P to mean X has a passport. P means X has a passport. T for Tema means what? X wants to travel. Now the statement is having a passport is necessary if one wants to travel. How will you symbolize that into a conditional? P means X has a passport. T means X wants to travel. How do you symbolize having a passport is necessary if one wants to travel? Is it only Juliana's hand? Oh, Lady Julie is my class rep for the first group, right?
Yes, please.
I never knew you. Your surname.
Yes, sir.
Human being resemble nothing. Who is answering my question for me now? So having a passport is necessary. I'm just helping you remember necessary condition. This is what sufficient condition. When you have a conditional, the antecedent position is described as what? A sufficient condition. You should remember that all the time. Sufficiency, sufficient condition. Then the consequent position is described as what? A necessary condition. So I may just say necessary and sufficient. And I use necessary to refer to the consequence. Then I use sufficient to refer to the antecedent. Got it? Good. If you got that, then we are good to go. So if I said having a passport is necessary, it means whichever variable I use to represent necessary should go into the consequent. Passport is P. I said X as a passport should be represented with P for Paul, and S wants to travel should be represented with T for Tema. So it becomes if T, then P, because the P becomes the necessary condition that follows the antecedent. So you now look at your page 18. I think I'm almost done with the thing I want to project it. Go to the page 18 and look at example 8 there. That is how it presents in yours. I'm pulling mine out. You will see the expression studying hard is a sufficient condition to passing your final exam. Studying hard is sufficient to passing the final exam. Studying hard is sufficient to passing the final exam. This is what I'm projecting, so let me take you there quickly. Studying hard is necessary. Yeah, exactly. I hope you can see. Let me enlarge it. Yeah. Studying hard is a sufficient condition to passing your final exam. If you were to symbolize it, how would you do the symbolism? Who wants to try? We are doing this, example 6. Why is it not highlighted? Is Juliana's hand alone? No? Should we end the session? Studying hard. I just showed you when I say a condition is sufficient, it means I'm describing it as the antecedent. And when I say a condition is necessary, I'm describing it as a consequence. That's all. So I said, look at 6, example 6. Please, can you see my screen? Maybe that is why you are quiet.
Yes, madam.
Okay, there you can see it. Studying hard is a sufficient condition to passing the final exam. Studying hard is sufficient to passing. So if I say represent capital X with what? Represents X studies hard with capital X, and represent S passes her final exam with P. So S for studying hard, that is X studies hard, and then P for X passes a final exam. I said dot is sufficient. So studying hard is sufficient to passing the final exam. How will you symbolize that? That's the question. Anybody?
Madam, please, P
Yes,
conditional Q.
Why is the hand not up? Who is talking? I want to know who. Is who?
Sarah.
Okay, Sarah. What is your antecedent now? In the English version there. What is the antecedent?
If X studies hard.
So the if doesn't come. X studies hard. X studies hard. Everything. That is your antecedent. And then the consequence is X will pass the exam. Very good. So now that you have X and P, S and P, how will you symbolize it? If S, so S conditional P. That's all. I give you the dictionary myself. Okay. So S conditional P. It means studying hard is a sufficient condition for passing your final exam. I want people to practice. So I'll give you more of the sufficient condition, necessary condition thing. You will have to come along with us, please. If not, we'll end the thing and everyone will go and rest. I don't want you to lose that time that we could have had together. So I'm using a session to help you polish up the English translations that we can do from a distance. Doesn't have to be too much hard work. If I say neither nor, neither nor, see, I'm not in class and I'm not at the hospital. How will you symbolize that? C for X is in class, H for S is at the hospital. My expression is neither nor. So how will you symbolize that? Nobody can symbolize neither nor. Deborah, are you there?
Yes,
Go ahead.
madam.
Yes,
Please,
go ahead. You can do it.
conjunction, negation, kill.
I gave you variables. Okay, so I gave C,
Is the variable?
X is in class, H, X is at the hospital. Then I said not, so Nancy is not in class and she's not at the hospital. How do you symbolize that? Debbie.
Negation H, negation P. Conjunction, negation P. I'm confused with the variable.
The variable is C, not class. So C, and then not hospital.
C and
Is it
what?
okay?
H.
H
Okay,
for
but
hospital. Yeah, you just pick the key thing, that's all, so that you don't get confused. Not class and not hospital. That's one of the ways you can interpret that. That's very good. That is De Morgan expanded. Or you can say not into bracket. Oh, sorry, Yvette's hand is up. Go ahead, Yvette. Or not into bracket. I said your answer. Yvette, if I don't say not, I don't say class conjunction, not hospital. In other words, not C conjunction, not H. How else can I say the same thing to represent neither nor?
Neither nor. Okay, so negated C conjunct negated A.
Okay, it will rather be negated, negation into bracket, C disjunction, H, and bracket to close. I don't know if you can see that. Not into bracket, C disjunction, H, bracket close, is what will expand to become not C conjunction, not H. I hope you can see that, Yvette, and everyone. So there are two ways of writing what I said. If I say I'm neither in class nor at the hospital, one person may say not class, that's not C, conjunction, not H. Someone will say not into bracket, C, disjunction H, bracket close. You're saying the same thing. Because if I expand not into bracket, C disjunction H, I will have not C conjunction, not H. The same as the other person who just spoke directly and said not C conjunction, not H. If you are following, then we are good. De Morgan's law is what I represent. Now, suppose I said, if birds do not walk, then humans do not fly. This is also on your page 17, the last example 10. Then humans do not fly. Oh dear. Aha. Appreciating the difficulty of the whatever anyway. I want to use, oh no, let me find it for you. Almost there. But the expression is, if birds do not walk, then humans do not fly. It's number 13. There we go. That's it over there. Number 13, down there. This is the the page we are working with. So on mine is page 17 because I don't have the course outline and the front page and all that. It's numbers from page 1. But you have it as your page. I think it's your page 23 or so. Okay. That is it over there, number 13. If birds do not walk, then humans do not fly. Which main connective is this compound? Raise your hand. This is very easy. Sarah. Very good. I see many hands. Very good. It's a good number. Maud. Which compound is this?
Madam,
Sarah, if you want to answer, then go ahead now.
Madam, it's a
Condition. Very good.
it's a conditional.
Yes, correct. The condition. Yes. What is the antecedent of that conditional Madam has given us? It's correct. It's a conditional, but a conditional has a big antecedent. What is the antecedent of our conditional now? Maud.
Birds walk. Sorry,
No. Birds do not work, right?
sorry,
That
birds
is
do
itself
not.
a condition. No problem. That is also a conditional. I hope you can see that. If I say birds do not work, I'm saying if bird, then not work. So this the compound is itself a conditional whose antecedent is also a conditional. Keep looking, also a conditional with the consequent negated. While the consequent is also a conditional whose consequent is negated. You see how complex that is? If birds do not walk, then humans do not fly. It's a conditional statement with an antecedent that is itself conditional, and a consequent that is also a conditional, and in both cases, antecedent and consequent have their consequence both negated. When we come to class and you still have issues with me with that, let me help you with it. It is very complex a formula. You need, I think, 4 variables. P, then not Q, bracket, or conditional R, then not S, something like that. Then the first one will be X is a bird, the second one X. The third one, X is a human, the fourth one, X flies. And you do the symbolism. Hope you are following. Let's try one more. We will leave at 8 o'clock, whether or not it rains. Wow, that's also a tough one. We will leave at 8 o'clock, whether or not it rains. How do you symbolize that? What is the person saying? If it rains, we will leave at 8 o'clock. And if it does not rain, we will leave at 8 o'clock. That's what the person has said. You can write it that way, so it's easier. Or you can use the conditional whose antecedent is a conjunction. So if it rains or it does not rain, we will leave at 8 o'clock. Did you see that? Rain or not rain, that's the antecedent. Then we will leave at 8 o'clock. Someone can do the translation that way. Sometimes when you finish and you decompose, you see that the two of you may have been saying the same thing, only differently. Okay. Who betrayed his Lord? Which compound is that? Who betrayed his Lord? Raise your hand and answer. I want a lot of hands to go up. Which compound is that? Is it conjunction, disjunction, conditional or biconditional, etc.? Who betrayed his Lord? I see only one hand up. I'm not impressed, right? 2 hands. Who betrayed his Lord? 2 people? No, that's not good. Which connective is the main one in operation there? 3 hands. Kingsley Kumi joined. Yvette joined. Yes, so I see Gertrude, Kingsley, Yvette, Mohammed. You can do better, class. 5, Rebecca Annan. We still need some few more hands. Rebecca, are you main campus, Rebecca? Because I don't know Rebecca at City Campus yet. I can't hear you, Rebecca. Are you a main campus student? I won't penalize you. I want to know. You are with main campus, right?
No, City Campus.
Okay, fine. I want to know which Rebecca you are. Okay, when I come to class, let me know. Anyway, so my friends, I say who betrayed his Lord? Yvette, which connective is that?
Madam, it's not a statement because it doesn't
Well
have
done.
any true value.
Well done. It doesn't have a truth value, so it's not even a statement, let alone having a compound. That's all I'm looking for. Well done. It's not a statement at all. At all. The sun is shining, but the sun is not shining. If you were asked to assess the logical efficacy of this statement, what would you say? The sun is shining, but the sun is not shining. Please look with me. What do you find wrong with such a statement? The sun is shining, but the sun is not shining. Okay, so everyone symbolize that and let's see. Obed, the sun is shining, but it is not shining. But the sun is not shining. What is, yeah.
Madam,
Obed, what is symbolize battle? But which compound is bat? Bat is what?
Madam, conjunction.
Very good.
Conjunction.
So if I say P conjunction, not P, what will it generate? Check, test quickly. Can use table or trees, whichever you find convenient. Quickly, everyone check it. P conjunction, not P. Will it generate a tautology or a contradiction? Very quickly. Who is that?
Madam, please, a contradiction.
Very good. The contradiction rather, see that, because of the end, the bat. Bat is a conjunction. So I'm saying P conjunction, not P. That breaks the law of non-contradiction. The principle of non-contradiction says one statement cannot be both true and not true at the same time and in the same respect. So if I say the sun is shining, that's your example 5 on the screen. The sun is shining, but the sun is not shining. That's a contradiction. What about if I say we will not go to class and we will not go to the party? How will you symbolize that? Yanko class, party yanko. We are not going to the class and we are not going to the party. How will you symbolize that? Let's use class. X is going to class for C, and then X is going to the party for P for Paul. We will not go to class and we will not go to the party. Who is that? I'm just asking you to symbolize. Very good. That's more like it. As Antoa Janet. Finally. My lady, go ahead.
Madam.
You are just coming for another class. Oh, Mama, feel too much.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Madam, we all joined to do it. She's here, but this is Ernestina.
Oh, okay, I get it now. Perfect. I'm listening. So I will not go. We are not going to the class and we are not going to the party. How will you symbolize that?
Not P conjunction, not Q.
Okay, so I give you variables. Okay, when I give you variables, I want you to use them so that you don't get it wrong.
Okay.
So
Okay.
X
So,
will
Madam,
go
what
to class. X will go to class C. Class C. Then X will go to the party. Is what? P. We will not go to class and we will not go to the party. How will you symbolize that?
This is party. This is P. So not P conjunction, not S.
Not S conjunction, not P.
I mean, can't S, so my variable, there's no S in it. Not class C, yeah? Not class. and
Okay.
not past.
Not
You get it
C
now?
conjunction, not P. Yes, please.
Excellent. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. That's correct. So it's a conjunction. Now you cannot test for consistency. Everyone tests. So not C conjunction, not P. Was finished. You can use any of the methods. I'm not restricting you to any. I prefer you use the trees. It will be faster. So I'm going to do true, true, false, false, true, false, true, false. Was finished. Is it consistent or inconsistent? Get you.
Madam, please, it's consistent.
It's consistent. What assignment of truth values will make it true? One said it's consistent. Means there's a possible way of making the formula true, right? Look at it and tell me. What assignment of truth values will make the formula true? When C is false, I can see that. And P is also false. Look at them. You see that the C is negated. Can you see? And the P is also negated along the same path. There's only one path to this. Because I said not C conjunction, not P. So if you decompose, one will be on top of the other, and both will be false. So you are saying that the only way of making this formula consistent is when both the C and the P are negative. Okay. All right, let's try more. Back to our translations. Is there a question, Deborah? Please ask.
Madam, please, with the question, if that was good, we will leave at 8 o'clock, whether or not it rains.
You can say
please,
if it rains,
is it
we will leave at 8 o'clock. It doesn't have only one answer, depends on how you translate it. Okay, I can be saying the same thing in different ways. So you can say it this way. If it rains, we will leave at 8 o'clock. Or if it does not rain, we will leave at 8 o'clock. Can you see that? So that you can symbolize it. That's one way of saying it. Or you can say, if it rains or it does not rain, then we will leave at 8 o'clock. So the antecedent can have disjunction in it. It can be rain or not rain. So R, disjunction, not R, bracket, or conditional what? Leave at 8 o'clock. Or conditional kill or something. That can be one way of interpreting it, or the earlier one that I said. Now your question, Deborah, I think it's gone.
Yes.
Okay. I will be the MC unless we write the paper on Saturday. I think the person speaking is an Adventist. Says if we write a paper on a Saturday, yeah, I can't MC. Okay, or better still, maybe a church Sunday church. Okay, so let's interrogate that. I'll be the MC unless we write the paper on Saturday. The yeah paper on Saturday, yeah, and the MC. You see that it can be if we write the paper on Saturday, then I will not be the MC. Can you see that? Someone says, I'll be the MC unless we write the paper on Saturday. Unless can be a conditional. It could also be interpreted as a disjunct. If it's a disjunct, it's a straightforward. X will be the MC, disjunction. X will write the paper on Saturday. So we've got two variables, one representing X will be the MC. Let's say P means X will be the MC. Q means X will write the paper on Saturday. You put a disjunction, which is unless in the middle, you are done. P or Q. But if you want to use if then to capture the same thing, it's still possible. Interpret it. If I say I'll be the MC unless we write the paper on Saturday. So I just said, so if I will be the MC, and I say if we write the paper on Saturday, then I'll not be the MC. You'll have to look at the interpretation to generate a conditional from that. Let me see if there's any question. Hand up, asking a question. Oh no, the hands here we're going to answer a question. I think we are making some good progress, especially with the translations, which some of you are not conversant with at all. Now, you will pass the example 4. You will pass the final exam or you will not pass the final exam. How will you symbolize that? using variable P. I want a chorus answer. You pass the exam or you not pass the exam. How will it be symbolized? Using P.
Or it's a disjunction.
P disjunction, not
P disjunction,
Excellent.
not
P
P.
disjunction, not P. Very good. So that's the symbolism. Now decompose and test for type of consistency, not just consistency.
Hey, so disjunction, I'm going to branch, which is going to be
Patient. Yeah, I want type of consistency now. We haven't done that since before. Not just consistency, but type.
P.
So first establish
negation.
whether it's consistent. Have you done it? Is it consistent?
Yes.
yes, it's consistent.
Which type of consistency is it?
Contingent.
Contingent. It's
Don't give me lotto. Don't give me lotto. If you give me lotto, you have an issue. P disjunction, not P. Let's do the first part. When we want to decompose it, will we branch or go straight? P disjunction, not P.
Branch. We'll branch.
Very good. We'll put our not P on one and our P on the other one. We are done. Now it opens. So we are going to test for type. Is everyone following?
Yes, madam.
Okay.
Yes.
The original formula now is what we put. I'm coming, just a minute, okay? Don't forget your question. Now that is consistent, we want to negate the whole thing and test for type of consistency. So we'll put our P not P into bracket and negate the whole thing. As soon as you do that, you have to apply De Morgan now to expand it. Have you done that?
Yes,
Now the new formula you have, will it go straight or branch?
It will go
straight.
Very good.
Straight.
Put one on top of the other. And now let's read. Will it open or close?
Close.
Close.
You close. Very good. So the original formula was consistent. When we negated it to test for which type of consistency, it has become inconsistent, meaning always false. What does that tell us about the original formula?
The formula was consistent.
Yes, what type of consistency then? Because the negation of that consistency has generated
It becomes a tautology.
inconsistency. Very good. You see that? Always true, always false. Tautology means always true. Inconsistent means always false. So when you finished and you negated the consistent formula, it has become inconsistent. Inconsistent means always false. Now your formula has become always false after you negated it. So if you want to know the original formula, it tells you that the original formula is always true. That's why when you negated it, it became always false. What's the meaning of always true? Tautology. Is it okay?
Yes.
So the rest is practice. If it is consistent and you want to test for type of consistency, we said it in class, you will negate the whole formula and decompose and ensure that it generates an inconsistency. Originally consistent, negation inconsistent tells you that the original formula is that type of consistency for tautology. That's why when you negated it, it became inconsistent. My lady who had a question, please ask. We decompose not P disjunction Q on a branch. And then you said you have a question. Please ask me the question.
Madam, I'll take you back a little bit, and that is the number 6. I will be the MC unless we write the paper on Saturday.
On Saturday.
You
What
said
are the atomic formulas? Don't worry.
yeah.
I'll take it again. Then you can ask your question after that. Okay. So what are the atomic formulas you see in there?
Okay.
Yeah, give me one. Oh, any one of them. The atomic formula, the simple formulas that have been put together to create a compound. I'll be the MC
I
unless.
will be the MC.
I'll be the MC.
Very good. That's one of them. Okay. So I'll be the MC is one of them. What's another one you can have?
We write the paper on Saturday.
We write the paper on Saturday, yes.
Are you okay with that? So you can see at least 2 atomic formulas in that statement. Okay. Then the connective there is unless. How do you translate unless in symbolic logic? If it's and, we know it's conjunction. If it's yet, we know it's conjunction. If it is if, we know it's conditional. Just like in math, if I say the product of 3 and 6, you know I'm asking you to multiply them. If I say the sum of 3 and 6, I'm telling you to add. So what's the difference between 3 and 6? Actually to subtract. So the words have meaning in mathematics. In logic too, if I say unless, but, if, provided, if and only if, sufficient condition, what have you, they all mean something, okay? It's not us that I'm giving it the meaning. That is what it means in the language of logic, at least for the one we are doing, positional logic. So I'm asking you that unless means what? Literally. And
Disjunctive negation.
Unless it's a disjunction.
Madam, it can be conditional or it can be conditional or
You know what it
disjunction.
can be important. Don't worry yourself. What it is first, then what it can be, you can come in later. See that? You know every whole number is over 1.
Yes.
So every whole number is actually can be a fraction. If you want to talk about it can be a baby. See that? But what is it? Before we can consider what it can be. If I say unless it is a disjunction.
Yes.
But it can be interpreted as a conditional, and that is because of the material implication. I have preconditional. That's the first question I asked you to start your session. One of the, I think it was Joseph that answered, or someone answered it. If I say preconditional KO, is the same as what? By material implication law.
Not P disjunction kill.
Very good. Not P disjunction kill. See, so when I have a conditional, it can be interpreted as what? A disjunction by tweaking the antecedent, changing it to what? A negation. So I can change a conditional into a disjunction, and I can change a disjunction into a conditional. Easily. I just have to do something to the antecedent, and it will help me change from conditional to disjunction or vice versa. If you got that, now I want to answer Madam's question, if the question is still there. A lady asked it now. I don't think the question will be there, but you ask it if you think it's still there.
Oh, Madam, with
Lady,
this
are you there?
explanation,
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Yes.
You
I
have
knew that
already
it was
answered
that
my
explanation.
question.
Good.
Pardon?
Thank God. No, it's fine. Thank you now. So we can go to example 2. You will write the exams provided you have paid your fees. This one, which compound is it? And what are the atomic formulas in it? And how do you, if you find a compound, okay, let's go step by step. Example 2. It's a statement. So it's a proposition. It has a truth value. It's not like example 6, which said, who betrayed his love? That was a question. Okay. For example 2 is a statement. It can be true or false. Now, which we can see that there are other statements embedded into a bigger statement. So we see at least 2 atomic formulas. What atomic formulas do you see there? I want anyone to give me one of the atomic formulas. Work with me slowly. That's how
You
do
write
it.
the exams.
You write
Very
the
good. You will write the exams. And then the next one.
If
You
you
have
have
paid your
fees.
fees.
Hey, girl. I'm going for a wedding this afternoon. No. My people, forgive me. I'm teasing my tea again. Okay. We write the exam. So the other one is you have paid your fees. Then the connective term is what?
provided.
Provided.
Disjunction.
This is a condition. Hey,
Condition.
So this is disjunction. Tell me what it says, not what it can be. See that? So you can rewrite. I told you the whole numbers can all become fractions. So what it can be is not the issue. the thing is something, but it can become something. You're a good lady, but it can become very bad. So we are not interested in what you can become yet. Tell me what the formula is. So provided acts like if. Oh, sure, it's connected. Please do that. Okay, so people, you should know what. Just save your words once in a while because it keeps going on. I don't know who is undermining us. It's a lie. The devil is a lie. Hey, my people, are you there? I got distracted. Hey, dude. Everyone see, you will write the example 2. Provided you have paid your fees. Provided it's acting like if you write the exam, if you have paid your fees. The which you will fees, yeah, no better exams. If you have paid your fees, okay. So it's a conditional. What is the antecedent of this conditional? I want a chorus answer.
You
You have paid your fees.
Well done. Hey, you people are doing like you're not there, but you are there. I'm shocked for that. When I asked, I was like you're not there, you're not there. You find the answer. Good. That was good. Eh? So the answer is you have paid your fees. That's the antecedent. You see that I didn't begin the statement, but you can tell because provided behaves like if. So if antecedent, then consequent will follow. So the consequence is you will write the exam. Now suppose we represented you have paid your fees with F for fish, because of the fees. So let's say let F be you have paid your fees. And let E for Emmanuel be you will write the exam. Write down the dictionary. When I give you dictionary and I tell you to use it to work, please work with it. Otherwise, you will score a low mark for something you have done a perfect work. See that? Maybe it is because I want us to have a uniform answer. Maybe that is what I'll key into the system to mark. So if you go and put another variable there, the system will mark you wrong. I want you to learn that just for a UI. So you write the exams provided you have paid your fees. If you have paid your fees, then you write the exam. That's what the person is saying. So let F be you have paid your fees. Let E be you will write the exam. How will you symbolize? I want a chorus answer.
F conditional E.
Well done. That's correct. Very correct. It's F conditional E. Now, if I ask you to rewrite your answer in a disjunctive form, or write down your answer by applying the material implication rule to change it from its current state to a disjunction. I didn't give you away the answer. What would be your answer?
Not F disjunction
Not
E.
F.
Not
Disjunction
F,
E.
disjunction E.
E.
Well done to everyone. See that you got there?
Mm-hmm.
No one. Interruptions. Don't worry, it's not me. We are back. Can you hear me? Are people can you hear?
Yes, please, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
The office table, the university table on the wall like that is what is doing that. But we'll mind them, we'll continue. So we got to, can you see my screen still, please? Or I have to reshare. It went up for a while.
Oh, we can see, madam.
Perfect. Let's continue. I like the Vim, Vim day. See, I was showing you that you know how to translate you can fish out your atomic formulas. I'm sure what you know. Before you think of what you don't know, think of what you know. You can identify atomic formulas, symbolize them to create a dictionary. You are able to interpret compounds at relatively accessible levels, not too complex, but you know, provided, if, unless, neither, nor. You can apply equivalence rules, material implication. We've worked with it a lot, commutation. What's the other one? Transposition. You should work with transposition too. The conditional that changes the position of antecedent and consequent at the other side and negates both. So if I have P conditional Q, it becomes not Q conditional, not E. It changes both the position and the value. That's why we call it transposition. And it's working on a conditional. That's one of the rules of equivalence. You know that. You know absorption. No, absorption, I've not worked with you much on that. You can study the rule. You know association, commutation, material implication, all those. De Morgan's law. Why am I emphasizing those? Because that is what you use to expand. Those of you who did the tautology right now. P disjunction, not P. When you decomposed and it was consistent, then I asked you to test for type of consistency. You went to negate this whole statement, which is P disjunction, not be all negated. As soon as you have that, you need a law that will help you expand it and break it down into pieces. That was De Morgan's law you used. So it became not P conjunction, not Q. Conjunction, not P, sorry, which you decompose to create your point. So you can apply material implication, De Morgan, all in one package. It's not a joke, more than like I said, so much to do to get a middle range. And you are working slowly. Some of you are taking it so well that you can look at a formula and say, this is a contradiction. It's a good sign. And the young two shall grow if you don't see any. Now, we just saw example 13. He said, if birds do not work, then
If this one.
people, are you there? Hey, they are same question.
We are here,
Yeah,
madam.
yes, we are here.
Very good. Endurance.
We did. We are listening.
Perfect. Is that Janet? And our comfort. Yeah, I'm not quite we did. We are listening. Okay, it's good. Let's finish. So we want to encourage ourselves.
Yes, madam.
Yo.
It's Janet. So
Janet, papa. Oh. Now, so enough of the translations now. Let's see if there is something else that we can add in your revision. Look at this one. Either you study hard or you will fail. What is the symbolism for that? Use PQ. Study hard or you will fail.
P disjunction Q.
That's all. So that P will be X studies hard, Q will be X fails. Finished. Okay. How about 5? I've projected now. Look on my screen now. That's another set. Having a passport is I think we've done that. It's necessary. Miami, I've done that with you. Let's do example 4. A queer cannot be a vandal if she's not in Commonwealth Hall. How will you symbolize that? Make X is a vandal, V for vulture. X is Evander. Make that, symbolize that with V for vulture. Then X is in Commonwealth Hall. Symbolize that with C for cat. Now give me a translation of the whole thing.
C conditional V.
C conditional V.
Look at the expression again. If she is not in Commonwealth Hall.
Not C conditional V.
Look at the second one to appear cannot be Evander.
Not C conditional, not B.
Well done. You see that you know it all, but you just have to be particular about details. When you do these courses, you become detail inclined. Sometimes people get a bit worried. So this one doesn't matter much. So when you're here, they feel sad. Hey, if you feel like we ask extra teaspoon of salt to your something. You see how they put it. Okay. So not C, then not V. I hope people are practicing. They're not just saying, hey, that thing is like people are understanding it. People understand how you want. No, you have to do some. Okay. All right, so some translations going now. Look on my screen now. By what rule will you equate? Look at the example. You see one, something labeled one over there. I asked you to compare the truth conditions of the following argument. See on my screen. P conditional Q all into bracket conjunction, not P conditional, not Q, bracket close. I said compare that formula to your left with P by conditional Q. They will be equivalent. Which rule of equivalence makes them the same? Look at it very well. Hey, the hand up. You can do Lotto. Can do Lotto, no one will beat you. That means not watching. Are they the same? Yes, they are. But they are not any of them. Mohammed, go ahead. Mohammed. Amina, oh sorry. Amina Mohammed.
Material equivalence.
Well done. Hey, Amina the rain. It's material equivalence. Well done. I thought you say implication, then I'll prompt. It's material equivalence. Let me explain for those who haven't learned that rule yet. Add it to the rules you know now. Okay. Material equivalence says if I have P by conditional Q, it's the same as saying if P then Q, and if not P then not Q. If P then Q, and if not P then not Q. Let me confirm that for my. That's material equivalence, one of the renditions of a material equivalence rule. You'll find it on your thing. X by conditional Y is the same as X by conditional Y and Y by conditional X. That's one interpretation of it. It's also the same as X. I said by X conditional Y or conjunction Y conditional S. I'm just looking at your own. Let me find it for you. Hold on, I'm finding the rule for you because Madam is right, but I want to show you where she picked it. It's the last but one on your, this thing I'm projecting is what you have put into hard copies to make it accessible to you. You're almost there, everyone. Very good. I'm going to the rules, the page that, this is it. This page has your rules there. Let me magnify it a bit. Magnify the Lord. Magnify the Lord. Yeah, I'm magnifying it for you. Where's the magnifier? Magnify the Lord. Oh, magnify the Lord. The Lord is able. Are you there? Oh. People are a bit hesitant to do this thing online. So I tried not to bring in too many formulas. That's why I'm not using even the Google whatever. So that you just learn the translations. Now I want to show you the Tinoaira. Let's see if it will come. Okay, whilst I am at it, Madam is correct. This is what I was trying to show you. The equivalence is faded like that. See it. This is what is on the document. You see X by conditional Y, this place, is equivalent to X conditional Y, all in the bracket, conjunction Y conditional X. I showed you that the arrow goes towards the right, so from antecedent to consequent, and towards the left, from consequent to antecedent. That means if X, then Y, and if Y, then X. That's the meaning of equivalence. So in one instance, it can be X, then Y, and at the same time, Y, then X. You are just stating the meaning of a bicondition. So when I say X biconditional Y, I'm also saying if X, then Y, and if Y, then X. That's one of the meanings. It could also mean the one that I asked, Madam. X conjunction Y, or not X conjunction, not Y. See that here it is a disjunction. This is all, whilst here is conjunction. Different ways of stating material equivalence. There are three ways of saying the same thing. If I have P conditional A, P biconditional Q, it can mean this, it can also mean that, expanded form. You can rewrite it as a conjunction and also as a disjunction. Do a true and false of this. I mentioned transposition, which is also called contrapositive. That is, you can have P conditional Q, it can be equivalent to not Q conditional, not P. They changed position and changed value. That's why it is transposition, or you can say contrapositive, opposite to the positive, opposite to the given. Okay, P conditional Q still becomes a conditional, but the P here, which was antecedent, becomes a consequent here. And then the Q here, which was a consequent, becomes antecedent here, both negated. So let's try contrapositive equivalence. Let me see if you got it. If I say A conditional Y, by contrapositive, what will it become? I want a chorus answer. A conditional Y will become what?
Negated Y conditional negated A.
Sorry, Nick. So don't mind me. I'm laughing at you. A conditional Y becomes not Y conditional not A. Well done. That was contrapositive revised. Please, I took you from that page to the other because I'm trying to work on your ability to recognize equivalences. It will save you so much stress if you have to work. If you know the equivalences already, you won't stretch yourself too much. See the rules of inference now. Modus ponens. Oh, this thing was so faint. The original is, I'll look for it. Modus ponens, modus tollens, hypothetical syllogism, disjunctive syllogism, addition. Let me give them to you. Write them in your notebook. But these are too faint. I can give them to you now. Okay, write them down. The rules for deduction. These are argument patterns. Okay, so write modus ponens. The rule for modus ponens says what? If you have P conditional Q, that's the first premise. Write it down. You will need them for every assessment I'll do. Going forward, you have 4 weeks to go. P conditional Q. The second one, P as antecedent. Therefore, we conclude Q. P conditional Q. P, therefore Q. This one was heavily present in critical thinking. So that's modus ponens. 2, modus tollens. P conditional KO, not
Madam,
KO.
please can you
Therefore,
repeat?
oh my bad. You can't see anything on the screen. The first one I said modus ponens, MP. P conditional KO. P, therefore Q. That's the first one. The rule of inference, deduction. Okay. 2, modus tollens. P conditional Q, not Q, therefore not P. 3, hypothetical syllogism. P conditional Q, Q conditional R, therefore P conditional R. I could have used variables to show you. I could have used English translations. Then you will have to do the symbolism. If I did that, I could have said all mangoes are fruits and all fruits are edible. Therefore, all mangoes are edible. Translate, symbolize, test for validity. Plot your answer on a Venn diagram showing clearly all your work. 12 marks. I'm sure someone says, Radhe, you do it easy. We'll do the Venn diagrams in class or the next. Okay. But right now, I'm just showing you the rules. That translation would have brought you to somewhere. All mangoes are fruit. If mango, then fruit. All fruits are edible. If fruit, then edible. Therefore, all mangoes are edible. Therefore, if mango, then edible. When you symbolize, it will be hypothetical syllogism. Then you test for validity. I can show you that later in class. I think we started last week. Okay, then you decompose and blah, blah, blah. All right? So hypothetical syllogism is this pattern. Modus tollens, I could have said, if you study, then you will pass. Kofi did not pass. So it means Kofi did not study. Which rule of inference do you see in the following argument? Is it valid? Demonstrate its validity, or maybe 5 months. That's all. Then you work with it. Test for the consistency, for example, of modus ponens. See, there you symbolize. Now work on it. So you have to know the rules themselves, and that's what we are doing. I don't want you to just do chew and fall. I want you to understand the rules. So we are going to write them down well, then we'll work with it. Like the way we work with commutation as rules of equivalence. They are not rules of inference. They are rules of equivalence. The rules that help us change our large currency into smaller denominations so we can buy pure. The value is the same. If I give 200 Ghana cedi notes, like I said in class, and you give me 450 Ghana cedi notes, you haven't cheated me and I have not cheated you. You just gave me smaller denominations. So if I have P conditional Q, I can give you that and collect not P disjunction Q. I have only replaced what you have. There is no cheating. So equivalent, equal value, equivalence, okay? Or replacement, rules of replacement, rules that help us replace what we had in a way that doesn't cheat anybody. Those ones are the material implication, material equivalence, like Madame did, double negation. If I have not P, the same as P. Tautology, if I have P or P and you have P and P, we are saying the same, we are all saying P. So we are just repeating ourselves. That's another rule. We saw association, it moves the bracket from the first two to the last two. The arrangement don't change, the variable don't change, the connective don't change. You see that? We have learned all that. I just reminded you of transposition. You know material implication, you know what's that on commutation. Commutation, they change their positions. So P disjunction Q becomes Q disjunction P. All those are at the top of this page. They are replacement rules. See tautology number 10. Exportation, I've not done much of it. You can think around it later. I'll find a shortcut to help you grab it. That's why material equivalence, we haven't done much. But see, material implication, we've done a lot with it. Material implication helps you to decompose a conditional. When we have P conditional Q, do we go branch or straight? Let me see if you are there or you are asleep. If I have P conditional Q and I ask you to decompose, do we go branch or straight?
Branch.
Branch.
Very good. Then we put the negation of the antecedent to the left and then the consequent to the right. You know why we negate the antecedent? Because of the law of material implication. When I have P conditional Q, it's actually the same as not P disjunction Q. That's why I look at the not P disjunction Q and branch and put not P on the left, the Q on the right, because I actually I'm stating the other version of P conditional Q, which is accessible to me. See that? I want to buy pure water, so I can't go with my 200. That's why I will change it at the shop there and ask for 10 cedi Ghana notes. How many? 20 of them, and give him my 200 Ghana cedi. Nothing bad happened. So when you replace not P disjunction Q with P conditional Q, you haven't done anything wrong. It's the same thing. Okay, that's why you must know them when you have to work. Double negation, you know now. I've worked with it. Transposition, I just revised with you. Distribution expands the formula. Look at it very well. I have P conjunction, then bracket opens, Q disjunction R. The P conjunction will now, it will be P conjunction Q or disjunction P conjunction R, like we do in math. So I have P time 1 times, the open bracket, 3 plus 4. The 1 will multiply the 3, the 1 will multiply the 4. We can do more of that in class if you want us to. But that is distribution. It distributes, it spreads the compound over. You have to expand it. Association, we found it in class, work with it, and commutation, and then De Morgan. So if you are practicing, you know that you know De Morgan's law very well. You are even using it. You didn't have to chew and pour the compounds, the negated compounds. You just understand De Morgan and expand. That's all. When you expand, you can decompose easily and do De Morgan. You know, commutation, no association. You can polish up your distribution tutorial among your study groups, peer review. Distribution, transposition is okay, double negation is okay, material implication is okay. But material equivalence, you want to see more of them. If P, then Q, and if Q, then P. When I have P by conditional Q, the same as if P, then Q, and if Q, then P. So it moves from antecedent to consequent, and from consequent to antecedent. That's one of the interpretations of material equivalence. The other one, maybe you want to look at it. Then exportation. Someone is opening their book, Papa. they want to see what is left. Even the 2 pages left, we can do it in 2 weeks. So do your bit, okay? Let's do some few more, then we'll mop up. It's just a makeup class, okay? So I was helping you write down modus ponens and co, which are not equivalence rules, and they are not replacement rules. They are inference rules, deductive rules, rules that help you deduce a conclusion validly, granted that the premises were true. Okay. The first one, I said modus ponens. If P, then Q. P, therefore Q. The bar means therefore, you underline it, therefore. Showing you the conclusion as the one followed. Okay. So if P, then Q. P, therefore Q. Please go and pick it then. Okay. Yes, modus tollens says if P, then Q. Not Q, therefore not P. I hope you got that one. Then we got hypothetical syllogism, and I drifted a bit, but I'm back. Hypothetical syllogism says if P, then Q, and if Q, then R. Therefore, if P, then R. P, then Q, Q, then R. Therefore, P, then R. That's hypothetical syllogism. Write it down. The fourth one, disjunctive syllogism. I could say tests for the consistency of any rule of inference that ends with a disjunction or that concludes with a disjunction. You have only 2 options. Any of Poppy's rules, okay? You have either addition or constructive dilemma. Can't do it any other way. I won't be that hard, but I want you to learn. So I don't know whether I'll sleep at the wrong side of the pillow. When I wake up and I set rules, I ask you questions like that, then you can do it. Write down any or test for the validity, consistency, whatever, of any rule of inference whose conclusion is a simple statement. You can't do modus tollens for me, because modus tollens' conclusion is not P, a negation of P. That is not a simple formula. See that? But you can do modus ponens, you can do disjunctive syllogism, you can do simplification on your screen. Look, okay. So what's the formula called simplification? Look at it. If you have P and Q, you can conclude therefore P. You have simplified it. P and Q, you can conclude therefore Q. Thank you so much for coming. Don't come tomorrow, I beg you. Others will come. Someone will come, don't worry. Yes. P and Q, therefore P, or P and Q, therefore Q. Simplifying means take one of the two conjuncts and if it is P conjunction Q, then you can say P. You see, if I have the premise P conjunction Q, then I already have P. Or if I have P conjunction Q, then I already have Q. That's simply it. That's why it's called simplification. It is a conjunction of P, Q, leading to either one of them, P or leading to Q. It's very simple. You should get it today. You don't have to go and revise again. That's simplification. See that? Look right below that one, the example 9. You see conjunction there. There's a rule of inference called conjunction. See, now we are not describing the compound called conjunction, but an inference rule, called a deductive rule, rule of inference called what? Conjunction. What does it do? If you have two separate atomic formulas, you can put them together. So P up, Q next, then it will become P and Q. Let your eyes see it. Premise 1 is P, premise 2 Q. By the rule of conjunction, it will become P conjunction Q. So simplification and conjunction are easy. Simplification starts with a conjunction, therefore you conclude one of the conjuncts. Conjunction starts with two independent conjuncts, then you put them together and say therefore P conjunction Q. Look at addition, also very easy. That's how you learn. You learn the simple ones, then you have something in your basket. When you finish, then you go and engage absorption and constructive dialing. Okay, no modus ponens, tollens, hypo, and disjunctive. Those 4 was from critical thinking. If you study, then you will pass. You have studied, therefore you will pass. That's modus ponens. If you study, then you will pass. You did not pass, then it means you did not study. That's modus tollens. If you study, then you will pass. If you pass, then we will travel. Therefore, if you study, then we will travel. That's hypothetical syllogism. Either you studied or you failed. You did not study, therefore you failed. Either you have an account with Barclays or you have it with Stanchart. We have checked your Stanchart. There is no account there. Therefore, Barclays. That's the disjunctive syllogism. Now, how about addition? Just one variable. Therefore, you conclude an addition. Remember the disjunction. As soon as one of the alternative is true, it's enough to make the others true. Whether the other one is true or false doesn't matter. So if I start with P, I can conclude therefore P or Q by addition. I've added something. It's a disjunction that concludes it. Okay, that's addition. Then we saw simplification and conjunction. The last two, absorption and constructive dialing. Find a way of doing a true and false of it. Okay, and then you are so sorted. So let me take it off the screen. You two close your book and then let's see if you can test yourself. Test for the consistency of the rule of inference called modus ponens. Who has finished? Is it consistent? You can work it out there. See the words that describe disjunction, unless otherwise, alternatively, they are all disjunctions. Okay. Right. I think we should end here. Let me take your questions if you have any. Because you were participating, you were able to do much.
Madam, please, would the answer be consistent?
Come again, please, my dear.
Please,
I
would
didn't
the
hear you,
answer
sorry.
be consistent?
Yes, it will be consistent.
Please, said would the... Okay.
Yes. Yes, that I wish I'll be there. I'll see how consistent it was. See, I want to read it. But I presuppose that you do a good job. When we meet, I'll look at them. Or when you go for tutorials, you can look at it. But consistency, as you know, first you must know the rule and then test it, and there should be an open branch. Okay, good. So practice that. Practice consistency, validity. I showed validity to both groups. Negate the conclusion that has been given to you in that argument. And then now use that instead of the original conclusion that was given. Use the negation of that conclusion. Add it to the premises and decompose. If it generates an inconsistent formula, it tells you then that the original formula was valid. That's why when you negated the conclusion and added, it generated an inconsistent formula. That's the formula that you must practice and practice and practice. Thank you all very much. I think that we can record this, pull it out and share to the site. Then you can add it to what you have. If someone couldn't come, they shouldn't worry themselves at all. We'll share this. They should just practice. We didn't do any new content. We just practiced more. I thought that it was a session that you were entitled to, so you had to benefit. And so that's what we do. Okay. Thank you all. Have a wonderful week. And take care.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Madam, where are you?